Hi everybody, Larry Graves here. I actually started a video of this whispering, and it's just not going to work for me. So I apologize for those looking for me to do a video where I'm whispering, but I just don't feel comfortable enough or natural enough whispering, because like I've said many times, I just want to keep this all real. But I'm talking quietly, which is real to me. Plus, I don't want to disturb my cat Jinx and have her wake up. This is a story that I told probably over a year ago on my comedy channel, although it isn't a funny story. And apologies if I start sweating a bit. I'll turn on this. I have my air conditioner on, and I'll turn on this fan on low. That's better. And I wanted to talk to you about, once again, I guess I have a video already called The Power of Words, and this is sort of like part 2, although I might title it. I don't know what I'll title it yet. But it's basically just how one thing a person can say to you, even a stranger, how it can affect you for the day, for a few weeks, for a few months, and maybe even sometimes for years and years. And I'm sure I've said things to people not even realizing that I've hurt them, and I don't know. Anyway, this is the story. I don't know how long this will take to tell. I went through my marriage breakup in 2012, so obviously I went through, I guess, depression or sadness at least, and no confidence. At that time I had no job, I was running out of money. But after about a year of basically sulking and feeling sorry for myself and feeling down, I just decided to build myself back up slowly. And one of the first things that happened for me to do that was someone messaged me on Facebook asking if I wanted to act in a local play, a local comedy play. I've never ever acted on stage. And I agreed to it, and the reason I agreed to it was I figured it would be just, a small role and a few lines, and I've always felt I could be a good actor, but of course I'd never acted on stage before. So I started the rehearsals for the play. It was called Remember Me. And I quickly realized that I was one of the main players in the play, and I had a lot of words to memorize. And I was thinking to myself, I didn't say it, but I was thinking to myself, I can't do this because I have a bad memory as it is. And so for the first 4, 5, 6 rehearsals, I would have my script with me, and I'd do the acting half decently, but I'd be reading from the script most of the time. And of course the director after a while says you have to put that away, right? And what I would do to learn my lines is I had an audio program called Acid Pro from Sony, and so I would record the other people's lines in their voices. So if there was a female voice, I would have a higher pitched female voice, and I would leave my lines blank on the audio, and then I would play back the audio, and when it came to my lines, of course I would read them and probably record my lines too. And so then I would play that back and listen to the whole thing, and then do it again and again and again. So I rehearsed at home. And slowly, very slowly but surely, I learned my lines, or at least 95% of them. And so when it came time to do the play, I did okay. I was very proud of myself. I did screw-ups. There was the one, I think we did 7 or 8 plays. There were 7 or 8 nights where we did the play. And there was one night where I skipped a good chunk of the script without knowing it. And so the other woman who had done this for a few years, she was basically a professional at theater acting. So she kind of panicked and had to, without the audience really knowing, because the audience doesn't know the script, which is a good thing. But the thing is, the other actors screwed up too. It wasn't just me. I would mess up once in a blue moon with a line or two. But like I said, the other actors messed up too. Nobody's perfect. And I had stage fright, but once I got on the stage and I got the first couple of lines out, I was pretty good, and I wasn't that nervous. And by the final stage play, I was close to a professional, or I felt pretty good about it. So doing that stage play was the first thing that started to get my confidence back, if I ever had confidence. And the next thing was to get a job, and I got one pretty soon after the play was done. I worked as a temp at P&G in Belleville, Ontario, and I worked there for a couple of years. And I went on many dates in the last 4 years through the dating site Plenty of Fish, and met some very nice women. Some didn't connect with me. I didn't connect with some of them. There were a couple of women that I wanted to date more than the one date, but they didn't want to date me, and the other way around too. There was just no total connection, I guess. And so I stopped the dating. I stopped going on Plenty of Fish for a little bit and took a break. And then there's this local singles dance called Romeo and Juliet here in Trenton, Ontario. And I thought, I'll try that. I'll actually go out and meet people. And by this time, my confidence was great. Like, I felt good about myself. I had a full-time job, and I was interacting with people again and had friends, so I was feeling good about myself. And I went to the singles dance, and I sat at this table, and right away it was kind of depressing because it was the first time I'd been at a dance by myself. In past years, I used to be a disc jockey in the 80s and 90s, and my wife would come to most of the dances, and I'd have a partner to disc jockey with. But at this dance, I felt alone. And I sat at this table and didn't really interact with anybody. I was kind of shy. And this one woman said, "You're not dancing." And I said, "Well, I'm not a great dancer." And she said it didn't really matter. And so we started talking a little bit, and I liked her, and she seemed to like me. So, once again, I was feeling good about myself and having a good conversation, and I think I had a dance with her, and then we started talking, and she asked me what I did for a living. And I said I worked as a temp at P&G. And she said to me, "That's not good enough." And right away, just that one sentence, that's not good enough, or half sentence, my confidence and everything crashed, and I was down again. Even though I knew that what she said was wrong, and it was good enough, because having a job, at least I had a job, right? So I knew she was wrong, and I knew she was I won't say the word, but she could tell that I was upset, but I didn't say anything back to her. And after a while, she did apologize. But before that, she was telling me how, I guess she was married and she got divorced, and she had whatever, I don't know what job she had, but she worked 12-hour shifts. And she had 2 cars and a house, and, I was thinking to myself, I don't care what you have. But obviously, that was important to her. Having things was important to her. So like I said, she apologized, and I think we danced after that, once or twice. And at the end of the evening, I even walked her to her car. And I gave her a hug. And there was talk about friending each other on Facebook, but I never did friend her. And I've seen her, I know her Facebook page, or I did at the time, and I almost felt like messaging her, and excuse me, I almost felt like messaging her, but I didn't. And so since that time, I've gotten a great girlfriend, Karen, love you, and I've gotten a better job with benefits. I work at McCartney, Canada, and so I've built myself up even more than at P&G. But I wonder now if that was the same situation and we were talking and I said, I work at McCartney, Canada, if that would be good enough for her. I don't know. And so that's it. And even though I've kind of left that behind, that hurt, it's still obviously once in a blue moon something will make me think of that, and it will kind of bother me inside. And I still wonder sometimes if I should just send her a message and tell her, get out my feelings to her, and I don't know. But it's not really worth it, I know. But still. But it's something, you do forget about it, you go on with your life, but at the same time, it's there. So I'm sure even 10 years from now, 20 years from now, if I'm still alive, it'll pop into my head and I'll think that. So that's all. It's just makes you realize the power of words and what you say to somebody. And that's my story. So thank you for watching. Bye-bye.